Well, welcome back. On the heels of the roaring success of 10 cheap prepper things to do, here's the next installment: 10 more cheap prepper things to do. Or is that morer things to do? At any rate, here we go. Number one, a lot of water filters are very expensive. There's the classics, the great ones, Berkey, um, Sweetwater, Katadyn, Guardian, all pretty expensive. Well, you can go to the RV section of a hardware store and see if they have any inline water filters for campers. I've picked up a few on sale before, and you can basically just connect it to your garden hose. If the water quality from your house is in question, connect it to the tap on the outside of your house or even inside your house if you have an attachment, the garden hose, and then it filter your water. Or if you have a rain barrel, you can catch the rainwater, attach this inline filter to it, and filter that. Cheap self-defense item, a water gun. I've seen videos before where they're filling them with all kinds of not pleasant liquids. And I say, hey, if it works for skunks, skunks don't kill you, but you sure don't want to mess with them just because they'll get that nasty spray. And again, it's multifunctional. You can just fill it with plain old water, imagine that, and have fun, have a little water fight. You can use it as fire control. Again, whenever you're looking at an item, think multi-purpose. Alternative cell carrier network. Um, I liked my last job. I got a cell phone with work, and the provider, the network, was different than my personal cell. So I had some backup, some redundancy. If there was an issue with one provider, I'd have the other one. So, if you have the option to do that with your work phone, do it. Or maybe you have, multiple personal phones, or even within your own family. If it's not a huge cost difference, have one plan with another provider. Maybe they won't both go down at the same time. Frozen assets. So get a 2 liter pop bottle that's empty. Once you're done with drinking your soda, fill it almost completely full. You don't want it to explode. Fill it with water. Put it in your freezer. Then I've heard that freezers are best kept full for energy efficiency. So by putting this in there, if you don't have much in your freezer, you'll maybe save some money and energy. Plus, if you need an ice pack, you can then take your frozen 2 liter bottle and put it in your bag or your cooler to keep other produce or products cold. And then if you need it, if the power goes out, you can, at the very least, take the water bottle out and it'll count as part of your water supply. So a couple liters, that's emergency water for a day for you. And if you want another little tip on the 2 liter water bottles, you can fill one up with water and put it in the toilet tank, not the toilet bowl, the reservoir, the toilet tank. That'll displace some of the water, meaning you'll use less water with every flush. So it kind of is a cheap way to turn your old, maybe high flow, larger volume toilet into a lower flow, more efficient option. Paracord for laces and lanyards. Anywhere you have a lanyard or a lace, consider replacing it with paracord. Paracord is the cord they used on parachutes, and it's basically, anywhere probably 5, 7, 12. There's different types, little cords within that one main cord. So very strong. And if you need it, you can pull the interior strands out and use them to tie things together as cordage for whatever you need. So you got to have your laces in your boots anyways. Take the lace out, put paracord in its place. So instead of 1 meter of lace, you might have 12 meters of cordage. Lanyards. If you've got a string on your hat, hold it, so your hat doesn't blow off. Replace it with paracord. The picture on the right is a lanyard attached to a whistle. Or maybe you have a fire starter. Anywhere you've got a lanyard, consider putting paracord. You got to carry it anyways. Now you're multitasking, multifunction, and you're getting more bang for your buck. Propane adapter. If you have a camping stove that uses the small 1 pound propane bottles, buy an adapter hose that you can attach to a regular propane tank, the 20, 30, 100 pounders. Then you can always get a larger tank at some point to be able to use on your camping stove, so you don't have to have a whole bunch of little 1 pound bottles. Or if you find, in an emergency, you can hook your stove up to that propane tank if you happen upon a propane tank. Canned food. So good to have as kind of a medium to longish term storage for your food options. If you can, and the price is not much more, look for the easy open, kind of the pull top considerations on the cans. So lots of cans now have different ways you can open them without a can opener. Either the pull tabs or the ones that you take the little key out and wind it around and it takes the top off the can. So now you'll save money on a can opener. And if your can opener breaks, you'll still have some of your food that you can open and eat. Trap that. So get a few rat and mouse traps. One, if you want to keep mice and rats away from your food supplies, whether it's grains, rice, whatever it is, you don't want them getting into your sleeping bags, your bedding. So it's good practice to have a few mouse traps around anyways. Here in Alberta, we don't need rat traps because we don't allow rats here. They all stop at the border. We are rat free. But I went and got a couple of rat traps anyways, because I thought if the apocalypse hits and I've got to provide for my own food, I can set these traps out and maybe catch some squirrels or a gopher or something that's not a rat, that's too big for a mouse trap. You can also use them. There's lots of videos and things where you can use them as triggers for setting off certain devices or as an early warning system. You put them out, something or someone steps on them, and it alerts you to their presence. Get a needle and thread. You can repair things with it, so save yourself money. Repair your clothes. You can use it for medical things if you need to do stitching. Learn how. I would recommend first to do sutures, but in a pinch, you can use the needle to dig slivers out. You could use the thread as floss for hygiene. Make a little lightweight, light tensile strength fishing kit. You could use the thread to tie things together or for other first aid uses. Tin to win. Tin foil. Put some tin foil or aluminum foil or aluminium foil in your kit. It's always good to have around. You can wrap food in it to bake if you don't want to have to tote around cookware. And putting tin foil or aluminum foil in it, it folds very, very flat. You can have a fair chunk of foil in your kit that doesn't take up much space. You could use it as a wind shield for your stove to save on fuel and to retain heat. You could use it to help reflect heat back in. When you look at boot liners, they basically have a tin foil type liner between the felts to help reflect heat. So you could use it for that because it's windproof and can reflect heat back in. You could use it as a signaling device. If you don't want to have a mirror or don't happen to have a mirror, you can use it as that. And you can also make a tinfoil hat out of it to protect your thoughts and your brain from intrusions. There we go. 10 more cheap prepper things you can do. Thanks for watching. Share and subscribe.